Hello, I'm Tim Gray, and thank you for joining me for another episode of Tim Gray TV, this time coming to you from Tokyo, Japan, where I'm revisiting a location where I had captured one of my favorite images during my first visit to Japan about 8 years ago. Specifically, I captured an image of some prayer sticks in a nearby cemetery. We were wandering around the Shinjuku area. We had the night before been exploring all the bright lights of Shinjuku, and that was very interesting, but then we were wandering around the streets and looking for a local experience, just exploring the neighborhood. And really the key word is experience. I was focusing on trying to get a sense of the local area, the local people, the local customs. And very much when I'm traveling, I try to make sure that I have a local experience. And what I found is that it sort of changes my perspective. Instead of seeking out photos of experiences, I'm seeking out experiences, and that naturally leads to the photo. So in this location about 8 years ago, I was exploring the cemetery, trying to be very respectful of the local customs and basically just not making a big fuss about being there and looking for interesting photos to capture when I found these prayer sticks that were set aside for ritual burning, and I captured an image. Moments later, a woman across the way, right at this shrine, got my attention and called me over. She was clearly Japanese, I am clearly not, and I speak very little Japanese. I was concerned that maybe I had done something wrong inadvertently and that I was going to get yelled at in Japanese. I would understand nothing of what she was telling me. Instead, she brought me over to these stairs, led me up the stairs, and then proceeded with almost no English. In fact, she only used one word of English, and that was judgment, which refers to the specific Buddha that is here in this shrine. She led me up those stairs and she taught me how to pray essentially without language. She just showed me, she demonstrated, and it was a wonderful experience. Now, I had already captured the image in question here, but that experience really, it made that photo more special to me. Now, when I got back to the hotel and looked at the image, I wasn't especially happy with the way the image had turned out. It didn't seem to convey the experience that I had had here. And so I tried to think about what could I do for that photo to make it better convey the experience. So I brought the image into Photoshop, I converted it to black and white to give it a more timeless look. I applied a sepia tone effect, I added a little bit more contrast, a vignette effect, and then I had an image that I felt conveyed more about what that experience was, this timelessness, this sense of history and tradition, and just a really special experience. And so I encourage you, when you're out exploring, to try to get off the beaten path, try to make sure that you're having a local experience and let that experience guide you in your photography. Again, very often you can find that the experience leads to the photo, and often that leads to a better photo than if you're leading with the photography looking for an experience. So have the experience first and let the photography follow. And don't be timid about applying adjustments to that image, even strong adjustments, to help convey what that experience really felt like. Remember, this is art after all, so feel comfortable making your photograph express what that experience was like so that you're conveying that to the viewer. I hope you'll keep those couple of tips in mind when you're out exploring different areas and having experiences, and that you get some great photos as a result. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Tim Gray TV.